They are so ready for Easter. As a person that's always walked my own path, I've always taken for granted when someone has called me creative. Aw, you made this? You're so creative! I would never think to do something like that. You are so creative. I would never have the courage to wear that. You are so creative. My grandma loves to tell stories about how independent I've always been, which really just means that when she took me out to visit people, I sat in the corner and did my own thing. To this day, I almost always pack an activity bag for myself with whatever craft projects I'm currently working on and some sort of book. That being said, I don't always feel very creative. I went to an art workshop once and the artist leading it talked about how there's two types of artists. There's the kind that confidently shows their work, and then there's the kind that would be mortified if you flipped in their sketchbook. I think most people are surprised that I fall into the latter category, mostly because I work really hard at pushing myself to do things out of my comfort zone, and I don't mind people seeing a project that has met my rigorous set of standards. Have you ever had an instructor that was so confident in what they were teaching that they were more focused on how awesome they looked and perhaps less attentive to their students learning the skill? I'm the complete opposite. My career for several years has been helping kids learn stuff, but it's less that I'm super confident in myself and more that I just want to hang out with kids and help them learn something cool. I love making these videos, but they can be mentally exhausting because it feels like self-promotion. And that has never ever been one of my strong suits. It isn't a complaint. To be honest, putting myself out there and accepting imperfection has been uncomfortable, but it always ends up being really good for me. And at the very least, it has been making me more cognizant of my volume. Last week, I got distracted with a new craft. No surprise, it was going to happen eventually. And then around Wednesday, I had some of that good old-fashioned soul-crushing depression. Not even my soul-crushing enthusiasm could get me back into my new craft. And it lay forgotten on the floor while I was slowly melting into my bed for a few days. The important thing is that what was bothering me wasn't a big deal. It wasn't the end of the world, and I allowed myself the self-care I needed to get back on my feet. Sure, it took a few days, but I didn't have it in me to craft something which is usually very cathartic for me. And so, of course, I didn't have it in me to make something that can be taxing, and that's okay. I got back on the horse today, went to a hoop dance workshop, something I was really nervous about, and had a great time. I also had a great nap. So to my fellow timid artists, you are so awesome at what you do, and we can wait until we see the work that you want us to see. To my fellow people with depression, you don't have to beat yourself up. I know for me, it's all about allowing myself to recharge and being patiently optimistic that everything is going to be okay. You got this. To everyone watching this, I'll see you tomorrow because it's still VEDA and we're getting through this one day at a time. I went to an art workshop once and the lead... Sorry. I like how I apologized. I almost went sorry. Like to myself.